Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to a new TW9 video. You join us today for AEW Slobber Knocker, which is our tribute show to good old JR. You can see here we've decided to make it just a normal event, but I have made ticket and pricing a bit cheap, so that gives us a chance at a packed out crowd and a real good atmosphere to celebrate the career and life of JR. And an extra 100k on a special set. I feel Tony would go out his way here and maybe make something with a bit of a JR tribute to it. It's weird, I always seem to get this, the kind of more, the deceased is more people dying through age, which obviously in the case of JR. I don't really get many Kenny deaths, but I can confirm I do have Kenny deaths on, so, you know, we could lose someone at any point through a wood chipper or something, which is still mental, but adds that wee bit of extra element and risk to the save. So, most of the show is tournament matches. We have a few stuff that is storyline stuff, and a few things that will build on the way to Dynasty. So yeah, sit back, relax, and this is AEW Slobber Knocker, or Jim Ross tribute show. So we have a total of 35,273 fans in the Kauffman Stadium, and we are straight in with the AEW World title as your opening contest. And it was a superb matchup that saw the champion Christian Cage retain and defeat Darby Allin and Claudio Castagnoli in 14-18. When Christian Cage pinned Darby Allin by using underhanded tactics, giving him his first world defence. My idea with this one was basically that obviously Darby's trying to overcome the odds here, and he's got to take on a dominating force in the form of Claudio, and then someone as cunning as Christian Cage. So as expected, Christian is a weak link. Obviously, it's not that he's terrible, it's just the fact that Darby and Claudio are so good, and I had them to basically carry the match up. But as I say, we need to cover the whole Christian with the briefcase. Christian is champion. So that's where we're with that. So it was a 75. 63 for the crowd is pretty good for AEW at this point. And a 73 segment overall. You can see there in terms of down ring stuff, Darby and Claudio a good bit ahead of Christian, but the storyline advances and gains a little bit of heat. So Christian Cage remains the AEW World Champion. Next up, I had a little segment backstage here. MVP has made an offer to Bryan Cage, basically saying if he wishes to join the Hurt Syndicate for a one-off appearance alongside Powerhouse Hobbs and Shelton Benjamin in a trios match for the trios championships. Basically, I thought there was a nice fun six-man tag you could have had a trios match, but Dax Harwood under no circumstances wishes to work with Donovan Dijak, so I thought, okay, that's fair. So we'll just say that Dijak couldn't make it, he had travel issues. He clearly couldn't, although we did have someone with travel issues. That was Eddie Kingston, so he couldn't be here tonight. But just a little angle, so we've got Cage accepting, so we have a trios match that doesn't look too stupid. 54 for the segment, MVP comes out looking good. Bryan Cage is getting stale. Good, because there is plans for Bryan Cage. But before that matchup, we have some matches in the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix, and this was in Group D. And we had a decent matchup here with Dr. Britt Baker defeating Serena Deeb in 8:36 by submission. I felt this would be our weakest match of the night, so it was storytelling. And overall a 54. We've still only got Britt to a 48 in terms of in-ring. She's still in extremely poor form. I'm trying to put her with as many good workers as possible, just to try and help her. Because at least if she is in poor form, we can maybe try and develop some of her skills, so if she gets out of it, she can improve. Next up in the tournament, in Group C, it was about that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Io Shirai defeated Thunder Rosa in 13:50 with a German suplex hold. 65, 51 and 67. You're just at a situation now where Io Shirai is far above, in terms of popularity and probably skill set as well, the majority of the women's division, but she continues a perfect run. Remember, at the end of the video we'll go over the tournament standings at this point. So that trios match was next. It is going to be a mostly match show rather than angles. There is one or two. Oh, I have made a complete boo-boo. Let's just ignore that. I meant to put Bryan Cage, and for some reason I put the Beast Mortos. Oh well. We'll see it happened. A decent matchup anyway. Mark Briscoe and FTR defeated the Beast Mortos and the Hurt Syndicates, Powerhouse Hobbs and Shelton Benjamin in 11:52 when Mark Briscoe pinned Shelton with the Froggy Ball. This gives them their first defence of the Trios Championships. Don't worry, I'll find a way to work around this. So 59 for the wrestling, 45 for the crowd, and a 63 for the segment. Horrible butchered that. So the idea was obviously the Hurt Syndicate versus Mark Briscoe and FTR. The plan was always for the Briscoes, for Mark and FTR to retain anyway. I feel like once we get the tag tournament out of the way, we can start moving to what our proper trios divisions are. I feel like I still have a lot of people coming back from injuries, and I just want to make sure everyone's kind of aligned into where they are in the card. So then because I think with AEW started like 20 people missing, and I'm down to like 4 now, and they're all like long term. So I know for a fact I don't have Danhausen, I don't have Ruby Soho, and I don't have Penelope Ford for a while. I've obviously got Adam Copeland coming back within the next month, but apart from that, everybody else is back. So let's try to just filter in. And obviously we're a very stable, heavy company going forward. So we'll just say then that Brian Cage never showed up, and Hobbs and Benjamin go to the back and they just beat the crap out of him. So luckily they knew the Beast Mortis, and he was like, "Rrr!" and he decided to participate in the matchup. But I think that's a good way of covering what a utter mess I've made of that. So a 50. Next up, we go from a mess to something very good. It was in the Group B for the Super Shine Elite Grand Prix, and it was about to have some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as the TBS champion Athena defeats Azumi in 13:35 with the O-Face. I hate having Azumi lose all the time, but it just feels like she has to here in this one. But a 72 segment, I know in my women's division there's some wrestlers I can certainly count on, and Athena is absolutely right up there as one of the top ones, and a very good segment there. Then in a little segment here, we just had Tony Schiavone basically introduced the user character in this one, which is Tony Khan, and we had Scott D'Amore in there as well, our on-screen authority figure. Tony's not there to talk about Time Cop, he's out there just basically just saying, their thank you for the services that JR done with AEW, and obviously his massive contributions to wrestling. Obviously Tony did for how many years as well. So just a wee segment I thought they would have, which would kind of just say their thank yous and thoughts with JR. So 48 for that. Next up, I was hoping this one would just be utterly incredible. I'm assuming because I just put it together just to see how it went without a storyline, but it obviously didn't get as high a rating as I would have anticipated. But with a good wrestling match here, superb wrestling and good heat, I had Swerve Strickland defeat Rey Fenix in 21:40 with the Swerve Stomp. 83 for the wrestling, 56 for the crowd, a 79 overall. I just felt like, it is a show where I was going to put just matches together just to see how things went, and obviously just as a dedication to JR. 82 for Rey Fenix, 84 for Swerve. And I'm assuming... No, it was actually just inconsistency and just a poor roll. That's fair enough. I thought psychology would have maybe been a problem, but yeah, 79. I'd say that's solid upper mid-card where I want to be. Obviously I want to be hitting the 90s when I get to a decent stage. This one I'm delighted with. It was about to have some great wrestling and a decent reactions from the crowd as Tony Storm defeated Takuma Aroha in 13:51 with the strong zero. I made these two go out and steal the show, and they had a stellar Group A matchup. The reason I'm so delighted with this one at 73 is basically, Aroha's not over in the US, so if I can get her over in the US with the way my product balances, she'll be knocking this out of the park in the 80s easily. But obviously Tony Storm's off his full time, so she picks up the win in Group A, so she's having a very good tournament so far. We then see Renee Paquette interviewing Swerve Strickland, and he talks about it was a very difficult matchup against Rey Fenix, but he's shown the world he still is a killer, and he says his night is not done. He's got his eyes set on someone else tonight to make an impact. So 57 from Swerve. The promos are nowhere near the in-ring stuff for him, but fair enough. Next up with the Wild Brawl, it saw John Moxley defeat Katsuyori Shibata in 11:39 with a paradigm shift. These two have had a little bit of back and forth the last couple of Dynamites and Collisions. There's always going to be a short-term program just to have this matchup. And in the end, it's a 66, Shibata 51, Moxley 71. What next for Katsuyori Shibata? Because Moxley still has the issues going with Bryan Danielson and co. That is Faction Wars, which we'll dive back into. I was really worried we were not going to have a very good segment for an angle, and thankfully, because I like to do work in the crowd, over the top entrances for Mercedes at pay-per-views, she's delivered here. So 76 for the over the top entrance for Mercedes Moné, as she's going to be having her tournament matchup. and it was about to have some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Mercedes Moné defeats Tezuka Fujimoto in 13:43 with the bank statement. It's good to get Fujimoto on a pay-per-view or a special, because obviously she misses her Saturday shows, despite the fact that we own Ice Round. She obviously still has the booker, but I was hoping she's someone with the technical skills she's got. She could help Mercedes, and with these two having pretty good chemistry, lifting the match up, we were able to take the segment to a 71. So absolutely delighted with that. Another one that our overness was like single digits to start with. It's already into like 18s, and if we can get her over, especially in the US, like obviously she's over in Japan, but if we can get her over in the States, then obviously I think age isn't on our side, but she can still be like a very good acquisition. Next up, I did feel this would be the case. It was about how the great heat and good wrestling as Bobby Lashley defeats Will Ospreay, in 13:44 following a spear and interference from Swerve Strickland. So I did feel these two would maybe not click in terms of styles. Obviously the match suffered by the lack of selling, which is fair enough. But yeah, it puts Bobby Lashley over. Ospreay, I feel like you're always going to have the in-ring stuff. It's always going to give him a good rating. And obviously, I want to go back and do Ospreay versus Swerve. So there's that. And obviously it moves Ospreay away from the Hurt Syndicate as well. So 72, 63, 72. Bobby Lashley gets to progress his way, and Ospreay gets to head towards Swerve. So pretty exciting stuff there. Looking forward to that one. And then you can make a move Ricochet into maybe Ricochet Takeshita possibly. Remains to be seen. And our main event, that's not went well because of the injury. Crap. Does hurt plans. Good matchup. We saw the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White and Juice Robinson defeat the team of Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta in 25-20 when Jay White pinned Wheeler Yuta with a Blade Runner. In terms of in-ring work, Bryan Danielson was head and shoulders above the rest of a 90, Juice had a 56. The wrestling was a 72, the crowd a 55, the segment a 75. So at the moment, we should be looking at about a 74, 73 in terms of our show, I think. So if we break it all down, G White suffers a broken jaw. Yuta's out for Yuta with 72. Bryan 90. Juice 56. Jay 70. Bryan's storyline advances because it is just warfare. The creative finish was a success, so that's boosted it. And Jay White off his game. So you lose points for Jay being off it and his injury. You gain points with the creative finish. You gain points for Bryan and both teams having great chemistry. And, well, just Bryan Danielson being Bryan Danielson, effectively. Any other negatives? So I think that's probably been about a 78. I don't see it being too much affected, but there's still a lot more to go on. I'm going to have to break this down because it's a two-part angle. And we'll see how bad that injury is. So, if I can explain it all to you. So basically, after the matchup, the Bang Bang Gang beat down Wheeler Yuta and Bryan Danielson. So basically, you've got the 4-on-2 assault between the Guns, White, Robinson on the 2. We have the debuting Sami Zayn, which I'll change the spelling as Sammy, because obviously AEW would do something similar. So he does basically the help and chases off the heels here. So then you have the alliance of Danielson, Sami, and Yuta. However, after this, you then see the return of Adam Cole alongside Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, and they beat the crap out of the three baby faces because obviously Danielson and Yuta are tired. They've just went nearly 30 minutes. They've just been attacked, and the three of them beat down Danielson, Sami, and Yuta. So ending the show standing tall is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. I hope that made sense. My idea here was basically the reverse Adam Cole from All Out, when he basically got it done by Bryan Danielson. So he sees the Sami debut and just goes, I'm taking this moment. So it's only a 60 because a lot of it on overness, and Sami initial rating for the gimmick is good, and of course you're turning Kyle O'Reilly after 6 segments, which was a complete success as well. So we'll finish up the show. There's a lot to cover post show. So 78, so that wee boost then, thanks to the special set, helped. That increased their popularity in 32 regions on our AEW network. But overall, pretty good. As I say, you've got a couple of storylines you've advanced. We've got a lot of stuff in the women's division that's moved forward. And yeah, I've still a good bit to cover. So we'll just make a speech and say... I'm just going to say Swerve. Well done. Praise for a great performance. Pleased. Oh, that's not bad. Due about for 2 weeks, and yeah, I'll be back for well before Dynasty, so that's good. Financial report, we made 4 million, so we're clearly making mega money with the AEW network. It was a proper good investment, so we can start making all sorts of reckless purchases, and a 72 mostly across the board in the States. So we're 5 away from getting to the next level. A few gains, obviously, in the likes of Canada, 1 in Mexico, a few in the UK, good gains in Japan, some in Southern Europe, and 2 in Oceania. Media scrum. Do you have any comments regarding Daniel Garcia not being at the show? It's just to give him a little break. He remains an important part of AEW. How concerned are you for Jay White? Sure, it was a one-off. It was recently revealed that Penelope Ford is pregnant. Could be really harsh here, but obviously going to say straight as please for her. We will make an effort to keep Killswitch. He's a big part of the family. He's part of the Christian Cage act. What does it? QT Marshall is extremely happy with AEW. You're proud of your man management skills. I'm glad he's having a good time in AEW. It is known that Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and MJF really don't like each other. Does this not reflect badly? As long as they remain professional. Your response, which showed faith in the locker room's ability to deal with its own issues, went down well. Perfect. Mansoor is extremely happy in AEW. He must be pleased. Glad he's having a good time. So overall, I'm pretty happy with that one. No chaos coming out of the media scrum. We can take a wee look when we get to the main screen at what's coming forward. We're going to round up the tournament at the moment, and we'll take a wee look at maybe 1 or 2 workers to see just basically how they've been developed. It'll be more so younger talents, just so we know where they are at one point to where they are now. We are at St. Patrick's Day as well. So WWE have signed 1 of their academy graduates. Kojima's out for a few weeks. So we really struck gold with the show. We obviously know about Jay White's injury. Yunakiyama and Yoshitatsu have a bit of tension. And Cherry's frustrated. And Jim Hunter retires. So, Austin's still not signed. Naito has signed an extension in Japan, that's fair enough. Obviously, we know we got 3.2 million viewers, and then just telling us about injuries to Hashimoto, Jay White, and Kojima. That's fine, I can delete all them. And if we just go to that, you can see we're basically trying to get Austin. Negotiations started the 13th of March, so that's my fault, I done it too early. And then obviously a new contract for Darby, and a renewal for Lady Frost as well. So we'll start with creative. Oh dear. That Will Ospreay defeat has taken him out of franchise players, but we still have a lot of good next big things and hot prospects as well. So that's encouraging. Don't know what to do on that too much. Tournament. So at the moment, you can see here 4 teams on 3 points in Group A of the Briscoes Tag Team Cup. No points on the board yet for the Outrunners or the Kingdom. The Kingdom have lost 2 from 2. In Group B, we've not had many matches so far. FTR, they win over Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. The Acclaimed losing to MXM Collection. And in Group C, we've only had Private Party upset the Young Bucks, and the Guns defeat the Workhorsemen. In truth, most of it's went towards the women's tournament because a lot more matches, but I think we're going to just take both tournaments and try and stall them out to double or nothing, just to make sure every match gets done. But if we go to the Super Shine Grand Prix, you can see Mercedes has already had 4 matches and she's won 3 of them. But how crucial could that defeat to Tony Storm be? Tony has 6 points, as does Sky Blue with a perfect record. Yet to get off the mark, you can see 2 defeats for Taya Valkyrie. You can also see 2 for Ty Mello and Misa Ruga and Giselle Shaw with 1 defeat each. Into Group B, Athena, Jamie Hayter have 2 from 2. And from 1 win from 1 is Maki Ito and Anna J Saraya and Azumi having mixed records, as has Camille. In a Group C, perfect 3 from Io Shirai. The champ Mariah May just has 1 from 1. Mina Shirakawa and Deonna Purrazzo have just 1 defeat so far, but they have obviously been facing Io Shirai and Mariah May in those matches. Thunder Rosa has 6 points as well, and it's Riho and Ryo Mizunami who have yet to get off the mark. And into Group D, 3 wins from Dr. Britt Baker, 2 wins from Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander. Serena, Nakajima, Anu and Sakazaki have yet to get off the board, and 1 win each for Max the Impaler and Sari. So next show, 34 days to Wrestle Dynasty, for AEW Dynasty, calling it Wrestle Dynasty. So that's good. We've got a long way to go to that. It's a lot of time to get storylines across. And obviously build up stuff with MGF and Daniel Garcia, those kind of stuff that we still need to get back into. I just want to quick look at the development of some. If I go to Major Star, I should just have Bryan. Nope, I don't even have Bryan. That's not good. Star. Athena is under a star. So I want to actually look at Athena here, because you can see here her popularity is like mostly, you would say, in the 60s. She started at 44. I mean, I'm absolutely delighted with that. Bobby Lashley, 64, started at 60, so we've actually got him up a little bit. Dragon's only at 59, but he's been putting a lot of people over, to be fair. Claudio, 64, but he started at 50, so obviously quite delighted with Claudio. Garcia, some places he's nearly in a 70, he started at 44, so he's probably one of the bigger success stories as well. Darby, 63, but he started at 53, obviously takes a little bit of hit losing to Christian Cage. Io Shirai, 60, started at 58, so small gains with her. Switchblade, 50, 65 after that win. Big jump for him. Mox started at 66, is down to 63. Takeshita starts at 48 over. We've got him up to 62. Pretty good stuff there. I don't think Mariah's made much of a difference. No, 50 to 61. That's pretty good stuff. That's 11 over gain in 6 months. Mercedes started at 66. She is now, you can see, 67s. So she's kind of up and down, which is fair. Sammy will get him. We start at, well, in truth, he starts at 70. We got him at 68, so he's already had no change. Well, maybe in the Midwest he did 1. Swerve, 63, starts at 59, so good gains there. Toni Storm's at 61, she started at 52. In fact, it's only the last 2 months, so you can see that for some of the women this tournament is working. And Will Ospreay, 64, started at 58. So Will has had a little hit with that loss to Lashley. He is still making pretty good gains. And I just want to be quick look at the well-knowns. Is there anyone here that I feel like has made good development? Yuta's the one I'm more keen on. Started at 43. He obviously took the loss to Jay White, but he's down at 56. Phoenix, 46 to 51, because him and Penta have had good matches. The other one I wanted to look at was actually not so much the more so the skill development of Hook. So Brawlin's up 3, Peresco's up 3, Technical's up 2, Aerial's up. So everything's moving in the right direction. Psychology's up 3 as well. Charisma is up 1, even though he doesn't talk, so he's got that attribute, so you don't actually get any promos from him. The one I'm curious, because I've gave her a lot of matches, is Anna Jay. And she's obviously got QT Marshall training her as well. So Brawlin's up 2, Peresco's up 4, Hardcore's up 4, Technical's up 3, Aerial's up 4, Flashing is 2, Psychology's up 8, Experience 2, Respect 1, Reputation 2, Charisma 1, Microphone 2, Acting 1, everything else stays the same. Basics is up 5, Selling's up 4, Consistency's up 6, and the Safety's up 5. So you can definitely tell with the stuff with QT, the fundamentals are getting to a much better level. And then your Stamina up 4, Athleticism's the same, the rest of them all the same. I think she's only 26, she had plenty of time to get to where we want her to get to, but obviously we need to make sure we get there in the first place. So I'm pretty happy with how stuff is going so far. We've got plenty of stuff we still need to do in terms of promises. I think I've got like 9 million Nick Wayne things, but there is a lot of good stuff coming in the future. So, yep, on the road to Dynasty, we'll basically be doing a lot of tournament matches, and as I say, making sure we have a full card, mostly storyline related for Dynasty, with a little bit of tournament action there as well. But take it easy. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, a wee thumbs up is appreciated. Let us know how your TW saves are going. And as always, check out the Fantasy Booker subreddit, Grey Dog Software Forums, twdb.com, and bethebooker.net. And until next time, this was Maxwell. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.